All right, so we're back with another Meet the Team. We got Derek here. Derek, introduce yourself. Tell everybody kind of what your role is here at Southern Response and who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Derek Lomas. I am a recruiter slash safety here. Trying to lean a little bit more into the safety. I handle injuries, dealing with the workman's comp of things, and trying to make sure that our clients and stuff are taken care of as far as the injury side. There's still a lot that I need to learn, of
Yeah,
course, but I'm getting the hang of it. I enjoy the safety part and I enjoy the recruiting part.
yeah. So we sent you to a class shortly after you had got here to kind of brush up on some safety stuff, and then you've been working closely with the insurance company just to make sure we're in compliance, keep up with the workers' comp code and everything.
Right.
Um, how long have you been here, and what initially drew you to recruiting?
I want to say it was April of last year, so I'm at the 11-month range.
Yeah,
I think I'm getting close to. What drew me to recruiting? What my mom's done it for a while, family wise, and I kind of wanted to give it a try and see what happened. And I think, I grew to enjoy it, helping people out, and finding people careers and what they love to do, or if they just didn't like where they were.
yeah. So you had is actually so I typically before a couple years ago, I've always been drawn to. I grew up in that blue collar industry. Worked with my dad a lot before he opened Southern Response. I've always been drawn to guys in the field, and bringing them in like guys that kind of bounce around, don't really have a set path of where they want to go or what they want to do. You make a lot of connections in the field. So
Right.
as far as your background and your path before recruiting or before Southern Response, before, anything else, what'd you do?
I dealt a lot with chemicals, I guess I would say, and that emergency
Environmental
response,
sector,
right?
yeah.
Environmental work. Worked with emergency response stuff before. Also worked with waste companies, dealing with their hazardous waste before. I mean, I really did enjoy the hands-on work.
Yeah.
It's definitely fun. You do get to meet some great people out there as far as on the field.
It's a lot different going from like out in the field and then coming to sit behind a desk. Like that's probably the biggest thing that when I would, bring people in from the field, and not every one of them work out. Like it's slower paced, but the time that you get back from your, for your family, like all the things, just it's kind of like a give and take. Money may not be there in certain instances. I know here at Southern Response, like we value that, and we're looking to make an office position competitive with, if you're out there working in the field.
Yeah, I definitely agree. From going to working hands-on to sitting behind a desk 8 hours a day, it's a big challenge. I feel like that's the hardest challenge to overcome. But I also try to make sure that I get up every hour and walk around or move around or whatever I need to do. But also, I would say this job can be challenging as far as physical work. You're physically tired when you get home.
Mm-hmm.
When this job is mentally tired and something just mentally tired, I feel exhausted.
Yeah.
Physical, I can go home and still be good. But I feel like when I get home from here some days and I'm mentally drained, I'm just like I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's tough too. So like I feel that deep within me. So it's like you. I mean, you talk constantly.
Mm,
So a day in the life of a recruiter, kind of give some insight on that, because the big piece is like you're constantly talking. There's those moments where you get home and you're just like, oh, man, I can't get another word out of my mouth.
yeah. Now I will say I work a lot on the full time, harder to fill positions. So when I get on the phone with a lot of the guys that I speak with, I mean, it goes pretty deep half the time, and I could be on the phone with them for 45 minutes, 30 minutes to an hour. It just depends. Trying to get their background, what they're wanting to do with their life, what's making them want to change what they're doing now, gives them the experience that they have.
Yeah, and some people don't realize that too. Like I think it's pretty obvious how I feel, about the industry, like how some people have made the industry like watered down. Like what you more the clients that you deal with are more on like a higher level. They're, looking for people to come in, integrate directly from here to a client. So you're having to get like a full like culture background,
Right.
to make sure that they're gonna, you know, outside of their skill set, you have to make sure they're gonna mold and mesh good with your clients that you're working with.
Right. And a lot of those jobs also entail moving. They could be really relocating completely. So
Yeah,
I mean,
some of
it's
yours I know I remember some of yours have some relocation fees.
mhm.
I know that one of them moved from, I can't remember where it was, but halfway across the country to come work, somewhere right here,
Yeah, yeah,
which is pretty crazy, and a lot of people don't realize that maybe about us that we even do things like that. So that's what's cool getting you, kind of in here to tell what your side of it of recruiting looks like, because we've had some other recruiters sitting here, and it's cool to see the different levels of recruitment.
yeah. And of course, before this, the recruitment I was doing was fast paced, general labor.
Hmm.
Always in the field with those guys, working weekends and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
from going from that quick hit, finding new laborers every day or whatnot, from going to the full time, may take 10, 15 days to fill a job, if not longer. It just depends on the right candidate that you find for your client.
Making that transition from going from like those quick hits to this, like, I mean, and specifically, like, we did that to you because you play like a dual role, which I know, like, sometimes you especially will beat yourself up about some things when
Yeah,
it's not like, we have all intent when we give you something like that for knowledge that it's going to take longer, it's going to be a little bit harder.
yeah.
But going from that switch up, how was that?
It's still tough, like to this day, because you always want to make sure that you're adding your value to the company, but you
Hmm.
also want to make sure you're hitting that goal of that value that you would like to bring. Now, of course, I knew I was bringing what I needed to bring with my past company because I was putting in the hours. I was
Hmm.
always there. I had the man hours, so it's definitely a huge difference. Now here, I do enjoy the full time stuff. I just wish that sometimes I have more wins,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. So, a lot of the candidates fall through, or the clients, could back up a job, and, that just puts it on hold or whatnot. So
Yeah.
it can be
You gotta
tricky.
evaluate your wins though, like what you're calling a win. So, like, in your mind, going from previous to now, like those quick hit, those wins, like, you look at the value in that versus the value that you're doing now. Like, when you're placing somebody at a long career path. It's not just somebody who's going to come out there and work 2-3 days and lay off and
Right.
deal with all that.
Yeah.
You're given, like, more so out of our recruitment team, like, you have an opportunity to really change the direction of people's lives.
Yeah.
Like, you're giving them a good career, and we have some
Right.
solid clients, great companies to work for.
I agree. We have some great
And you're
clients.
getting to come in and fill that gap and be a mending point from the candidate to the client.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean, you look at, you may not have as many wins, but you look at the comparison versus the risk versus the reward. I'd call it.
Yeah.
It's the quick hits are, they're nice, like, everybody loves them, but the stress, the mentalness, like, all the things that it puts on your body. Whereas here, like, it's still stressful. You
Yeah.
get consumed with some things, and it's hard, but it's so much more rewarding. And you have to play a dual role. That's
Right.
already hard.
Right. Yeah. Trying to figure out that happy medium between the dual roles. It's been tricky trying to find out in what time to prioritize the other one first. So with the injuries, of course, that needs to be prioritized first. That needs to be taken care of as quick as possible, so we can get into our insurance company and deal with them and make sure that everything's done correctly.
Yeah, and sometimes, I mean, even with the insurance stuff, it's not a whole lot of, like, necessarily dealing, like, you're not just dealing with injuries. Like, you're having, like, there's audits, there's different things that, making sure we're staying up to date with the codes and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of details that come down to that. It's not just if somebody gets hurt you're
Right.
having to deal with. So juggling that is a struggle. So, like, my next big piece would be, obviously we got Liam.
Mm,
He's 3, 4.
4. Yeah.
He's 4, and then Sam,
7 months.
7 months old.
Yeah.
Juggling that piece. I know, like, some days I see you coming here, and he was Sam was having a little rough go at it at first, not sleeping real well. Juggling that piece of it, and then being in a company like this, like, where's the value at? What's the struggles of it? How have you balanced that piece of being a father of two?
Definitely not easily. But my kids are my joy. You know, my life and joy. They may aggravate me, especially my oldest. You know, as I call Sam, my fat man. He really can't aggravate me at his age. Do wish he could sleep a little bit better. Sometimes I do come in here a little bit more tired, or than I would like to. But I, just have to know that I have to provide for my family, and work my hardest in trying to do that, so I can go back home and see their smiling faces and not have to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's a big piece. Is just like doing all that, and it's like or it's not physical jobs that we're doing, but
Right.
like you had said, like it is a mental toughness to come and do it. And I know your wife Kinsley, she works hard too.
Yes.
So it's having two kids, like you have to still play a big piece in taking care of the kids, doing things for them, they're sick, whatever. All those different things, like it takes up a lot of time. So the culture that we have here, I mean, multiple people said it on here before, but having the leniency to bring kids, in here and like still get work done and be able to do stuff.
I'm not really a guy who wants to sit at home with his kids.
Mm-hmm.
When they do get sick, I've had to stay home with them. It's a struggle for me.
Yeah.
My wife's a rock star. She can deal with that stuff. Me, not so much.
Yeah.
I can deal with a lot, but
women are equipped for that, though.
They are equipped, for sure.
I love my wife to death, and do not envy what she does.
No.
It's super tough. Our son, he's a handful at times, but I mean, that's why we work hard and do what we do, so we can provide them with a good life and take care of them. But women, man, they like Kinsley. She works hard every day, and when she comes home, she works twice as hard as what she did all day.
Oh yeah.
And it's tough. All while not getting much sleep.
Yeah,
So.
she's incredible. She's a hero for sure.
I'm fixing to feel your pain. Ours is due in April, so I don't have two kids yet, but it's coming. So we'll see. We'll see how I handle it. So on to like the culture here and stuff. It's like something I really want to talk about. How do you feel the culture is here at Southern Response?
To me, it feels like kind of like a big family.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody's open to listen to whatever problems you have going on. I feel like you can talk to anybody here about what you have going on, and they'll listen and genuinely feel for you, or and they'll pray over you or whatever you have going on and whatever matters you have.
Yeah, we got some holy people up in here to pray over you quick.
Yeah.
So like on that topic, like, I mean, just from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell you that I'm super proud of you, like where you've come, how far you've grown. I know recently, like, you started coming to church, at my church, and seeing like you and your family in church has been a big piece. So as far as like that side of it, because I tell people all the time, the culture I want to build here, it's not like culture you see. Like, it's not just all business all the time. Like, I want to have real impact with what we do. I want to help change people's lives. Like, I'm not a big change the world person,
Right.
but if I can use the platform that I have to help somebody else, one person has more impact than, majority of what other people are doing.
Right.
So we use that and we implement that in our business every day. You're surrounded. It gets a little rowdy around here sometimes, like we all know. But, you're surrounded with good, like, faithful people that just, they love you. They pour into you. We do devotions, like, we're trying to get you involved. Like, how has that journey been, like, being in a Christian-based company?
It's been good. Of course, my background. Me and my family never really done the whole church deal or anything like that. Definitely believed in God. But we, I think it was more or less like, oh, I believe in God, but just went about our day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't any
You
praise
believe
to
because you
him.
had to, believe like we're in the Bible
There's a higher
Belt.
power,
Yeah,
right?
we're in the Bible Belt, so people get like misconstrued by that, and it's like you have to have that like everyday walk. Like you've gotta live it out to the fullest, and nobody's perfect.
Right.
I'm far from perfect. I mean, y'all see it in here. Things, the stress, everything builds up, and it gets hard to be that. But having the reminders in here, the scripture on the wall, the just constant, talk about God in our office and in our spaces. For me, personally, like that's something that I wanted to have. Like I want to surround myself with people I want to be like, people that are living their life as correctly as they can. It's hard. Like I'm not going to say perfect. Like we're far from perfect. We're really far from perfect company. But if we can pour into you a little bit, I know like you've come asked me questions and stuff like, and I can't answer. Like I'm kind of,
Right.
same thing. Like grew up, around it, grew up in church. After my dad passed away, I had dark times. I always tell everybody like my wife saved me. If it wasn't for her, like I wouldn't be where I am today. We wouldn't have the company that we have today. Like so many different directions could have come from where we are, and like bringing Misty in and just building on the culture that we have has been so impactful for me. So I know in return, like it's got to be impactful for the people that's here.
I would definitely say so. But I think it was a few months in whenever I started here, I did try a different church, for the first time. We gave it about 2 months, and they were good people there. And we just couldn't get, drawn into it. Something about it, I couldn't get into it. So, we gave up on it for a while. But you hired on Cliff, brought Cliff in, and, I know you kept telling me to come to your church, and then Dayton recommended me to go and stuff like that. So there was definitely a strong pull to it as well. But I think I really enjoyed when Cliff first came and spoke with us. I liked what he had to say, and it was informative, and I wanted to listen.
Yeah, Cliff. I mean, he's a top notch guy. Like he's a steeple into that I would call into my relationship, my walk with God. So he leads our Wednesday Bible study at church. It's just he's an awesome guy. I say if you don't like Cliff, like
There's something wrong with you.
You need to evaluate yourself.
Right.
Like super good person, and it's just been on my heart. Like me and him just talking, and I've got a friend that owns a business, Richard. They have a preacher that comes in and does a devotion before every meeting with them, and it was just like, man, that's cool.
Right.
Like I like so we used to do it. Me and Misty kind of split it up. We had some other leaders in the company split it up, and
Correct.
And I was just like, man, I really just want somebody that's got the heat, that's got the fire, like can come in here and just like, I mean, it's 15, 20 minutes out of our time
right
on Monday to start our week off right. And he's been a pivotal point in our company, our culture. I mean, he's just adding to the value, and he's only here one day a week. I know he drops by and stuff and hangs out with y'all a little bit, but having that piece of just that in our company has been, good for me, good for our people in here. It's just another awesome benefit to what we get to have here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in front from it as well. I thought it was a great idea before I even met Cliff. And, I mean, he's definitely, I feel like, a good fit here.
Yeah.
But great guy.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's just... Our culture is everything. So like building that up, and I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad that you see value in it. Like we value you. We're looking for many years down the road, just of how you grow as an individual, how you grow spiritually, how the company grows around you, and like what roles that you take on. Like you're in recruitment and safety now. Just looking into the future, like there's no telling where we can be at down the road, but we're definitely very appreciative to have you in here. Love that you're open-minded, and that you're really like digging deep as far as that's my greatest joy to know that, not only can I help you provide for your family,
Right.
but I can help you provide for your family spiritually.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest payment I think we as a company can ever give any individual on our team.
Yeah. Yeah. I I would agree. It's been great working here. Like I said, it's been like a family to me. I feel like I have a connection with just about everybody here. Um, Even with new people coming in and figuring it out, and still building that connection with them, and it's been a great time working here. I would just like to keep proving myself to this company, no matter what.
Yeah. And it's good. I mean, people see it. It's obvious when you come in the door, like our culture, what we stand for.
Right.
Even outside of Jeremiah 29:11 on the door and on our shirts, on our hats, everything, outside of that, it's more than that. You can feel we're not perfect. We don't expect people to be perfect to walk through the door, but you can feel the environment when you come in.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's it, dude. I appreciate you sitting down with us.
Of course. Yes, sir.
I really enjoy it. I always love to sit down with you, talk with you.
Yes, sir.
But thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sit down with another team member. Hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed day.